worked on a number of DC animated projects now, from Batman, Death in the Family, to all the work you've done with Young Justice. Now you're developing what's arguably one of the biggest, most influential, important comics of all time. How does it feel getting to work on a project like that? Is it daunting, or were you immediately in it?
I mean, both. It's an honor to sort of retrace the footsteps of Alan Moore, Dave Gibbons, Higgins' colors. I mean, there's so much to love and appreciate about that book, and so to have the opportunity to dive into all of those textures and layers. I mean, it was like going back to school. I keep saying this. I think we all had to raise our art game, whether it's filmmaking or design or lighting, color. Um, it really forced us to step up to rise to the level of Watchmen and hopefully make a great adaptation that is unique to the animation medium.
Sure, definitely. And one of the things I loved about this movie too is it felt really faithful. Like you adapted a lot of parts of the Watchmen story that don't always get in there, like that Tales of the Black Freighter part. Was that always your goal when you were making the movie? Did you want to make a super faithful adaptation, or was there any conversation about adding stuff in there?
No adding. My bosses at Warner Brothers Animation, Sam Register and Peter Girardi brought the project to me. And from day one, the idea was to make the most faithful adaptation possible. And on top of that, try to really make the experience feel like a comic book experience. So again, we're trying to embrace the unique voice of animation and the strengths of animation in adapting that material, but at the same time, for fans of the book, make it feel like you're in the book, like actually in the book. It's one thing to be outside and read the book from a traditional reading a book point of view, but it's another to like immerse you into that world, which is what we were able to do with uh, 3D animation and being able to take the amazing design work of Dave Higgins and all of his amazing line work and detail and graft that onto a 3D space and then bring a camera into that space and make choices about focal length of lens, choices about lighting and atmosphere, and bring to life the book in a way that has never been done before.
Sure, yeah. And I think you can really see that. And one of my favorite moments of the movie is the Dr. Manhattan, the TV interview, the way you cut it with the action scene going on and everything. I thought that was so cool. It's like you said, it's like a comic come to life, but it's kind of a whole different angle. Like you can experience taking it in a different way. I thought that was awesome.
Great, I'm glad.
Yeah. Um, so now you've adapted Watchmen. You got the second part coming out later this year. Is that going to be more straightforward adaptation and everything like the first part? Or is there any surprises coming for fans?
There are small surprises. I think inevitably when you adapt anything, certain choices have to be made. Obviously, we had to make some trims because our runtime wouldn't accommodate the entire 12 issues of story. That sucked for us. Like we hated cutting, but in some ways it was also liberating because then we had to, solve problems to sew up the gaps from which we had to, pull things. And sometimes that created a new scene that wasn't in the original book, something that worked better for the pacing of a movie format versus a book format. So, through the process of adaptation, there are some little twists and turns and new things that were not in the book by necessity, but anything added was always hopefully following the spirit of the book and will feel like something that could have happened.
Sure.
Um, and again, this hopefully will help bring a sort of something new to what we're bringing to the table. And whether you're an old fan or a new fan, you're going to find something new in our adaptation.